Mm. Morning, morning, morning. I'm gonna let a couple more people show up here, and then I'll get started. But it's gonna be a very simple but effective day, I think. We got some really, really interesting setups, and honestly, I'm probably gonna have to just focus on one or two, simply because there's three really good setups I like. But all you need to do is catch one really nicely, and that's all you need. But um, I don't know. There may be an opportunity to get in two different trades, but obviously I'm just gonna, if I signal one, I'm gonna focus on just one, um, and we'll go from there. But lots of different setups I'm looking at. So I'll go from my top watch to my second and third. But again, I'm gonna wait for about 1 more minute, let you Discord guys pile in, and then we'll get going. So yeah, so I mean, guys, I've been talking about a sell-off coming, and we're officially now kind of breaking this uptrend here on the Qs, and we're right at it at SPY, starting to break that as well. Things could get pretty nasty. We do have Powell tomorrow, so who knows if he ends up trying to bounce the market. But this is, I'm telling you, I've said for the last couple weeks that when a sell-off comes, it will be pretty aggressive. And so far, I mean, we are dying here pre-market. And why is that? Well, I mean, I don't want to say it's all because of Tesla, but this is going to be my main watch today. So they came out with deliveries this morning, and they missed by near 100,000. Let me go find that exact number again really quickly. So they estimated 449,000 deliveries, and they only had 386,000 deliveries. So that's a pretty big margin there. And look what the stock did, right? We just died pre-market. So what have I been looking at all week? Is this bear flag? And yeah, we did absolutely smash it. But on news like this, you could really see a Tesla continuation. Under 160, there's really nothing left until 150. So that could still give us a $10 move. Do I think that we're going to get the entire move today? I don't think so. But if we could catch a $3-4 move on Tesla here, that is going to pay us beautifully. Next watch, Apple. Finally starting to see some selling pressure here again under 170. So if the entire market's selling off, it might be Apple's day. 167.90 is going to be the low here. So keep this in mind. And my last watch is going to be Reddit. We're coming in here to the all-time low. We're under the IPO price. Originally, they were going to price this around $35 a share, and it IPO'd at 47. So people may actually want this to come down into the 30s. If we do give up this all-time low, I mean, you could really see a fast drop on this. So it's not my most ideal watch. Contracts are a little weird, but maybe we can catch Tesla, and then I'm not going to signal two different things at once, but if we can catch one in either Apple or Reddit, is going to be, at the prices that I still like, then maybe we can trade that as well. Today could be a crazy day, or everything could bounce the opposite way, and we don't get a trade. So I don't want to make everyone super excited because I don't want to get anyone's hopes up and emotions high. But today is a day where you want to be ready and you want to execute the right way. Don't hesitate. Don't anything. That doesn't mean go in super heavy. Just listen to me, and if we can execute one of these, 3 trade ideas correctly, it could pay for the week. So Tesla obviously going to be my top watch here just because there's a catalyst, and then Apple will be number 2 if the market stays weak, and then Reddit will be the third one, and that'll probably be a super light size trade looking for a bigger move. Probably going to look to play this low, then ideally try to target 40, but it's all going to depend on volume and momentum. So, are there any questions for Tesla? I'm going to be trading the 160 puts. For Apple, probably going to go 165s. I bet they have a 167.50. I may do those. Yes, they have the 167.50s. Those are going to be probably around the price that I want. The 165 puts may just be a little bit too cheap. And then for Reddit, I'll be trading the 40 puts. But yeah, so just make sure that at least for right now, everyone has the 160 puts on Tesla loaded up, because that's what I'm going to be trading here. Are there any questions? Is that not clear enough for everyone? Yeah, please be ready. Again, I don't want to get our hopes up. We just dropped, almost $10 on Tesla. So I'm not going to be surprised if there's a little bit of a bounce here off the open, but I'm more than happy to play a pre-market low into 160 and then look for a move lower. That's going to be the ideal play there. It's Tuesday. Don't have to worry about theta too much. I'm sure there's going to be a decent wall here at 160. So far, we already have a 25,000 wall. RB Tesla is going to be the top watch for sure. But Apple is a close second, and then Reddit is going to be a third. So we will see. Apple's pretty close. Reddit's kind of bouncing around that level as well. Okay, which contracts? Okay, so again, I'm going to be trading the 160 puts on Tesla and probably the 167.50s on Apple. And then on Reddit, I'll be looking at the 40 puts. Make sure you guys get here on time so I don't have to keep repeating myself, okay? I'll give a 10-minute window. But yeah, so Tesla, a little bounce here. I'm okay with that. This is kind of what I want. If this wants to open, I ideally want to see a quick pop and then a rejection. And then if we can see some really, strong selling pressure here, probably going to look to start getting in and then see 162 break, and then look for a 160 break below that. So, yeah, I mean, these are days that I wait on, Kenny. You're totally right. These are days. This is why I sit back so much on boring days, and then wait for everything to kind of line up. But then you got to execute. You can't be hesitant. But yeah, really negative news on Tesla. So let's hope that we get some continuation here. I hope this doesn't really bounce hard off the open. Again, we are down on a lot of things, so I'm not going to be surprised if we do get an opening pop. We got about 7 seconds here till open, so be ready. Again, 160 puts on Tesla. I don't want to see this just go straight down here off the open, but it might. Not really a bounce yet. Market has a red candle. There we go. A little bit of a pop there. This is pretty negative news, so keep that in mind. Already getting some rejection here at 165. Apple super weak here off the open already. I rather focus on Tesla than Apple. But the trade idea is there. Kind of looking for under 168 on Apple. And that's where I'd be interested. So here we go. Here's a little pop. I want to see this start struggling soon. There we go. That's pretty nice here. That's pretty nice. I want to see this low, this opening low kind of get taken out nicely here under 164. See some good continuation out of this. I want to see I'm going to start getting interested around 163 and then 162 pre-market low. These contracts are gaining value like crazy. They just went from 240 to 270 there pretty quickly. It's a little pop. This is why I'm trying to be patient here. This is totally fine. So now I honestly may just play the low of the day. That might be a little aggressive. Oh my goodness, guys. 285 a contract. They're really gaining some value here. I'm going to go ahead and let's just see what happens here at 164. I would like to see that break before I take a position. $160 puts have the most volume, already 9.6K volume here. That's pretty high for the third minute of the day. Still getting some buying pressure here. So we gotta wait for all this demand here to get out of the way. This will probably maybe people taking profits that were short overnight. Wow, these contracts are just flipping. Already 280, 278, then they bounce pretty quickly here. Let's just be patient. This trade is there. We just got to wait for it to actually set up. No reason to get in too early. Ideally, maybe even take a quick starter on a pop-up here. It's a little risky, and I don't want everyone to do that if you don't typically go in with multiple contracts, but we'll see. You can tell it's not really bouncing, but it's not really selling off either. Futures kind of just don't know what to do right now. We're under those uptrends. So as long as these can start selling off with Tesla, I think we got this. I just don't want to be too early here. Tons of volume still. Over 600, 700,000 volume per 1 minute candle. That's great. I'm going to go ahead and take a starter. I want to see this low a day get taken out here. Build at 285. Really, really light here. I'm going to add the bulk of my position down here at 162. I want to see 164 get taken out right now, though. Struggling a little too much. Here we go. Low a day. Nice. I want to see continuation. I want to see a close under 164 here. 162 is pre-market low, and then I'm going to be looking for a 160 break. So anything up here, again, is just going to be kind of a starter position. I wanted to see that flush. Still green here on these contracts, though. Already about 10%. Come on, Tesla. Slip right through. I want to see this get aggressive. Market trying to bounce here. That's okay. This may just be a patience game. I didn't want to miss that just in case it flushed right through down to 163. Still struggling. Probably keep stop pretty tight around VWAP. Just to keep it tight, we can always get back in this trade. That's just me. Nice green to red candle. I want to see this flush down here. I want to see the market stay weak. Come on, Tesla. Go for this low. 310 a contract. Already up decent here. These contracts are still gaining value. Oh, a little pop there. Okay. Let's see if there's any sort of rejection up here or not. Again, I'm in a starter, so I can give it a little bit of room to mess around. That's why I did that. Break even here at 285. Green again. Nice. There's a little fake out candle there. Let's see if they can flip this back through 164. I want to see a strong move through this low. That's when I know that this is ready. The longer it chops around, the more I don't really like it. Market's trying to bounce. Tesla's trying to stay weak. This is a pretty choppy open considering the news, so not my favorite. This is around where I would stop out here, guys. Just on that starter. I'm going to wait for an actual new low to come in strong and then probably get back in that trade. I just did not want to miss that. There's no reason to miss that trade. I'd rather take a small paper cut and then be able to come in with the full position and catch it than hesitate here and miss the trade. So ideally, we don't make a new high. I want to see rejections up in here. You know, if you want to take a small position here, then give a new high as a stop loss, you can do that. Contract's about 250. It's just kind of all what you want to do. I had to signal that there just in case there was some sort of slip there because that's ideally what I thought would happen. Back under 165, contracts 276. Here we go. Beautiful trade there. Let's see. I want this to break through lows. Market rejecting a little bit. Back to 285, 290 a contract. We're just struggling at 164, which to me is weird. But that's a strong bearish engulfment here. Look at the tape, all red. Here we go. I want to see a new low. Here we go. I want to see it get really aggressive here, guys. I want to see Tesla really slip. Again, the bulk of my position comes around 162. We just can't give it up. They're just not slipping this at all. That makes me think with the amount of short interest that we could see a little bounce. So just be careful. This is why we take starters. Apple really not doing a whole lot. Reddit ended up bouncing. I want to see rejections here at VWAP. 265 a contract, 270. Market just made a new low. I don't like this chop at all. This needs to get going soon, or they may bounce it, which to me just makes no sense on how bad the news was this morning. Market really selling off now. The only thing is, you know, on that last pop there, we got a really nice bearish engulfment. So I want to see, I'm just waiting for some continuation. Once we can, it'll be pretty easy to tell. We got a lot of volume, guys. I mean, almost a million volume candle here. Just waiting for this bottom to give out. And then, you know, if you guys want to just wait, you know, play it safe and then trade it around 162, you can do that as well. Not really bouncing just yet. We're just sitting right here at VWAP as the market's selling off beautifully. So I want to see Tesla catch up ASAP. Apple making new lows. We're down 6% already on Tesla, but on a day like today, you could easily see it, you know, maybe even a 10% move. Market is still dying. Tesla's got to get going, or I'm just going to move on. Apple's still about 60 cents away from 168, so just gonna wait on that. I don't want to see them do a new high here on Tesla. It's the last thing I want. They may just chop this around for 30 minutes though, and then finally give it up. The only thing is, this is the problem right now. NQ is making the move here. So is ES. They're making this downside move, and Tesla's going nowhere. So it's just a waiting game now. If the market bounces kind of hard and Tesla's the only thing holding up, then that might be where the bounce comes. So right now, I don't like this. It'll be very obvious if this is ready to go. That's fine, Slim Pickens. I like that. Just got to be patient here. Honestly, I may just get out of the starter and just wait. AMD selling off. Apple still selling off. The only thing is, when Apple gets around 168, it's going to be already a decent move on the day. So I think it all is going to depend on the market. I am really surprised at Tesla right now. I mean, a $2 range is crazy after some news like that. This thing needs to get going. This is an awesome little pattern here on a big time frame. We're just not moving anywhere. Contracts are going to start losing value here because IV, I'm sure, bounced up when this thing gapped down this morning. Nice, TK. I love that. Good. Yeah, we were up 10, 15% there at lows. I just, that's just not really the trade. I'm looking for at least pre-market low than further. So glad you got out with some money. Yeah, I'm just gonna get out of the starter here. That's too bad. That's pretty crazy though. Market's selling off, negative news on Tesla, and we're just not really going anywhere. Maybe maybe this takes another 15 minutes to set up, and then we actually make the move. This is just trying to push. While NQ is at lows, which is kind of crazy to me, but that's the stock market for you. It's just taking way too long. These contracts were about 315, I think, 320 at peak down here. So, another $1, $2 move, these contracts will move, 30%. There's obviously still a chance for this, but so far this is like the complete opposite kind of price action I want to see. I mean, a $2 range on Tesla just is pretty bad. So that makes me think that there may not be continuation in this. Typically, this is a pretty A+ setup for me. Negative news, bearish pattern on a higher time frame. Just got to give it some time, I guess. And maybe tomorrow's the move. I don't know, but I'm live trading tomorrow and the next day. So if it does happen, we'll be there. What I don't want it to do is chop around like this for an hour. And then, we get the move at like lunchtime when no one's really at the desk. Just kind of messing with 165 here. Let me go look at the wall at 160. That'd be a kind of an indication if we're going to go down there. Not really a wall at 160 right now. But we're still kind of far. There's a wall at 162. Small one at 163. It's not really what I want to see, but the 160 puts guys have the most volume. 33,000 volume right now. 14 minutes into the day. That's pretty good. Trying to get back under 165 here. To me, this pattern, just little 1 minute pattern, looks like we could rip through. So if we get through 166, that could be the end of Tesla for a little bit. Apple's trying to bounce too. Like I said, I mean, this is lining up pretty good, but if everything bounces, we don't get the trade. We don't get the trade. And there we go. just like I said. Let's see if they rejected a high day here like this. They didn't make a new high, which is interesting. But they might on this candle. I don't want to see a new high. This is kind of the last chance I'm giving Tesla here. Apple's now bouncing too far away, up almost around 169. So if Tesla's really weak, they're either going to make a new high and reject it really quickly, or they're just not even going to let them do it. It's just crazy to me. This is shocking. I didn't think this would be what happened at all. But that's trading for you, huh? New high. Let's see if they reject it or not, or if this is done for. Through 167. So we're now $5 away from pre-market low. It's a little much. Nice rejection. They got to get this back down ASAP, or the short sellers are going to be put some pressure on. Another new high, and this could start squeezing. So to me, that's the last chance it has to roll this over. Man, that's unfortunate. This is awesome. This is a really great setup, but it happens. It could still happen. 166 here. The market really didn't bounce much, and Apple really bounced. Reddit's trying to roll over. I like how Tesla rolled over pretty quickly there, but they gotta really bring that down. I mean, we gotta see sub 165 to me for this to actually maybe have a chance again. I like that though. Like I said, they may just kind of fake out a new high and then roll it over, because these puts are still grabbing all the volume. 160 puts now at 40,000 volume, so they gained about 10,000 there in about 5-ish minutes. So I mean, I don't want to just keep drawing lines all over the screen, but now we kind of have something like that. Apple still bounced up. Reddit still too far away. So I'm going to keep focusing on Tesla here. Got to see some new lows get taken out soon. It's pretty crazy. Couldn't even see a $2 move here on this opening range break this morning. That was kind of the first indication there that's why I took that original starter signal, is because that opening range break, that's when if I can see a strong move through that low, then it's go time. It's just off to the races to the downside. And then we failed that. We tried it again, and we failed it again, and then bounced. And that's why we saw a higher day. So those are kind of the first indications there that this wasn't going to actually follow through at that moment. Could it still? Yeah, of course. I mean, look how we're riding this 1 minute uptrend here. Got to get to 165, and I think that things could flip around. Still seeing people buy these puts. Just saw about 500 of these 160 puts get bought. What's that, about 10 grand? I don't want to see a new high. That's the last thing I want to see. So we see a new high, probably just going to have to move on. Disappointing day, but maybe tomorrow's going to be the day that it sells off. If they can roll it over, like I said, to 165, it'll kind of pique my interest again. You can tell once it gets a little momentum here to the upside, all these guys that are trying to short this are are having to stop out. That's why you get these aggressive moves higher. Let's see if they can reject it again right here. Come on, Tesla. Roll over, big fella. I can't see this creeping its way back up here after how bad the news was this morning. I mean, look at this sell-off, guys. It's pretty crazy. Rejecting it here, 167 again. Kind of sitting right around that original high a day level. Got to reject it here. It's probably done. Market trying to roll over. Tesla's just got this random strength. Red to green candle. They're probably going to do a new high here. Market trying to bounce a little bit. New high. Low volume, though. Look, there's really not that much volume compared to the open. So look at that. Nice little fake out there. I want to see them really roll this now. This is their chance. Nice. Starting to give up that little 1 minute uptrend. Nothing too special. Again, under 165 is where the momentum can actually shift here. But I do like seeing that low volume, high a day break. That means not many people were looking to play that new high. Not many people got squeezed out either on the short side. Look at times and sales now. A lot of red coming in. Let's go. I want to see this really start going. I don't want to see any sort of bottom side wicks, any buy-ups here. Market's kind of chopping around at lows. See if we can get one more leg down on the market. Apple bounced almost a high a day. Reddit bounced too high a day. Okay, so we can still focus on this. Under 166. About 75 cents off from 165 here. Don't want to see a bounce. Come on, Tesla. We can just see some big candles, big red candles come through here. It might be time. That's all I'm waiting on here. Like I said, it should be pretty obvious when this thing's ready to get going. So all these little choppy candles, no need to force it. This could easily just kind of bounce and grind higher the rest of the day. And we got to show up tomorrow and catch it, so don't burn cash. But again, watch what happens under 165. That should be the inflection point. If we see volume come in and a nice sell-off candle through 165, that to me would indicate that, okay, maybe we do have a chance this again. If we come down, play around with 165, break under, bounce back above a couple times, that's not what I want to see. Here we go. Coming into VWAP now, 20 cents off 165 here. Got a small wall at 165 as well. People are still buying these contracts. We're almost at 50,000, 45,000 volume here. Contracts 220, so they have lost a little bit of value. That's okay. So we broke under, then we see a bounce. It's not ideal. 165.20. Market still hasn't made a nice move to the downside. We're actually bouncing on ES and just kind of going flat on NQ right now. So if those can start selling off like ASAP, that might help Tesla really get some momentum into this low, and then things could get kind of crazy. Close that candle under 165. I do like that by 4 cents, nothing crazy. Just got to be patient here. We're under VWAP, so I do like that. NQ's trying to roll over. ES is starting to roll over now. That's good. This is Tesla's chance here to actually start picking up momentum. Volume did kind of pick up here a little bit on these sell-off candles compared to the bounce ones here. But like I said, I want to see this break under 165 and really continue. I don't want to see this dance around this level. We just need volume through 164, and then 162 is going to be that pre-market low, and then it's kind of off to the races for 160. Is it going to happen straight away? Probably not. Well, Reddit went crazy. 44 to 47, back above IPO price. So we're not seeing any sort of strong bounces as of yet, which is good. Seeing a little topside wick here, but again, two very low volume candles. So that could indicate a reversal, or we're going to see some sort of bounce. Chris, you say 5 minute looks good. Okay, I like that. Yeah, see, all these topside wicks do look good. So, maybe this was just a trade that was supposed to take a good 30 minutes before it rolls over. But let's see here. What does the 5 minute turn red for this? 64.50 ish. Okay, cool. So I know there on that alert, the 5 minute then flips red. That's good. I mean, that kind of lines up with my consensus here. News coming in 2 minutes. It's nothing that crazy, right? Was it jolts? Market is at a low point though, so any sort of decent news may bounce things. Tesla's just right here at this level that I want to see it slip. So look here, Tesla is still just kind of playing around with 165. So I mean, this isn't the most ideal thing that I want to see here, but it shows you that 165 is going to be this, it's an important level. So if we can just take out all these little buyers sitting here, and sellers can actually push this thing through and probably through 164.50, the next level that we bounced off of early on this morning was 164. After that, I have a feeling if there's enough volume, then it should be a straight shot for 162. Swing just alerted. So what swing got alerted, Slim Pickens? That's what I don't want. Volume bounce out of this level here. So news just came out. Let's see what happens. Yeah, what was the swing? Yeah, news just came in. Slim Pickens, what stock was the swing on? Nice move here. Wow, market's getting killed. All right, Tesla, let's go. This is your chance. Want to see under 164 ideally here, ASAP. Yeah, it was jolts. That'll move the market a little bit, but nothing crazy. I'm totally fine if it wants to pull it down. That was a nice little engulfment candle there almost. Pretty decent reversal. These contracts are just losing value now. They're $2 a piece here in the middle. They were about 250-ish around this area last time. That's fine. And that means they're going to be cheaper whenever we can get in this trade. Market still trying to push down. I mean, Tesla, I don't know who these buyers are, but they're doing a pretty good job of holding this. Meta ripped. Here we go. Come on, Tesla. We're almost there at that 5-minute trend change. This is unbelievable. It's just chop central right now. So it's got to be patient. It's got to be patient. Let it do its thing. As good as today looked, this is why you got to be able to identify chop. Look at that. There it goes. Bye-bye. It is what it is. We can't really change it. The setup is there. When it comes, we'll be on the market, whether it's tomorrow or the next day or next week. Ideally it just happens the day of the news. So, I don't care if this thing actually ends up bouncing to 170. Just do something. Chop after that amount of negative news to me just doesn't really make sense. But nothing's really supposed to make total sense in the market, huh? Nice topside wick there again. I don't want to totally bail on this name and look other places just because, one, there's really nothing around levels that I like. And two, this could change in 2 minutes. $160.51 is going to be that low there. 162 is pre-market low. Might just move this on a 5-minute. Let this chill out. Do whatever it wants. Once again, I don't want to see any more new highs. The market did bounce kind of hard. So that's kind of why we got that 165 bounce. But Tesla had plenty of opportunities to sell off when the market was weak, and we didn't. Back under 166 here, just barely. Come on. Yeah, I don't know what else I would have traded. Maybe there was a little trade there on Apple, but it didn't end up getting to that 168 level that I wanted. We got close and then bounced really hard. Reddit, I was looking downside on that. There's kind of an opening play there for about $1 move, which isn't bad on a $45 stock. Maybe could have caught something there, but the contracts on Reddit don't move very well. These 160 puts, though, guys, geez, 54,000 volume. I'm still seeing times and sales buy these up. It is early on in the week, so maybe they're just kind of positioning themselves for a later move. Maybe it's later today or tomorrow or the next day. But same week expiration, I'm seeing hundreds getting bought still. I don't want that to trigger y'all to go buy for no reason, but just right now, 256, 116, and 28 all just got bought at 165 a contract. You could argue that there's not really a strong balance. It's just kind of chop after a 5% move down on Tesla. But it's also like it's not really movement in general. So what side's really winning? Got 35 minutes in. So if this doesn't happen in the next 30 minutes, then I would probably think that it's done. ES trying to fold over here in Q as well. So that's good. That might help this. Again, it's going to be pretty obvious. When this folds over, it's going to be aggressive if it's actually ready to go for lows. If not, then it'll just keep chopping around. Meta back to 490. AMD had a pretty decent sell-off today. NVIDIA's chop central. Look at this. Pretty bad. But AMD sold off nicely for a second. Reddit, pretty crazy move. It's just crazy. Chris, really? RDDT? That doesn't make sense. I get maybe not on the first day it came out, but it's been out for like a week now. And it should be on the NYSE, so it should. Yeah, it's on the New York Stock Exchange. Yeah, IB's got it. The Reddit 40 puts are 30 cents. I had those pulled up on the side. That's done for sure. Apple's probably still done for. This is just so weird. Weird day. NQ selling off now. Tesla's just doing nothing. I guess the money was to be made pre-market. Reddit new high. This is pretty crazy. Well, something else to talk about. Powell does talk tomorrow. I don't know exactly what time. Let's look it up. Powell's at 12:10 Eastern, so middle of the day. Not really any much news other than that. I mean, there's some oil news. There's PMI and ISM manufacturing. Sorry, ISM services. And there's some sort of employment report. So tomorrow there's some news for sure. A lot of it's pre-market, and then you got Powell later in the day. So I don't know. Maybe that has some sort of factor on what's going on right now. But I think regardless, Tesla's a name that can move on its own. So that's why I was, intrigued to play it. But it decided to do next to nothing this morning. Just still seeing hundreds of these 160 puts get bought. But see, I mean, look at this little pattern here. I mean, again, it's not the most perfect pattern in the world, but you got a little uptrend, not really making new highs on it, right? So, I mean, what's going on Tesla big time frame? Why did I even want to take this trade? Well, same principle, right? We're not really making strong new highs. We have an uptrend here. We break it. Yeah, this is a news move, but the same thing happened back here without news. We're just seeing bear flag after bear flag, but it makes a new low. So that's why I'm interested in trading this to the downside, is because we can make a new low. Under 162, we have 160.50 and then 160. So to me, this looks like there's still some potential in it. Maybe not today, but in the near future for sure, as long as the market stays weak. I mean, everything kind of lined up and Tesla just had no follow through. So not really what I want to see. We're right here at this uptrend. Let's see if we can get back under it. Under this uptrend, then we got to get under 165. NQ coming in for a new low. ES just made a new low, and look what Tesla's doing here. Apple's staying up by highs as well. I don't know what's pulling the market down, because a lot of these bigger names aren't really selling off. NQ coming in a new low just now. This is crazy. So now pretty much this is what I see happening. Yeah, of course we could just kind of go flat, and that's boring, but that's easy to see. If we can break this uptrend and really get moving, then okay, obviously that's what I want to see, right? But then we also have this kind of supply zone up here. If we break through that and really just break through 167, again, this is probably going to be done for the day. I could see a $1 or $2 squeeze out of this, considering we're down 5.5% already. If we end up breaking through that this late in the morning, then this is probably done. This has another, to me, about 30 minutes to make a real move, or I doubt we see anything that crazy. But, I've seen lunchtime sell-offs when no one's around, which, I hate because we miss it, but it happens. What do you think I'm waiting for here? What's going on with volume? Volume super low. So what's going to be the first indication that this is going to start moving? Well, a downside move with a volume spike. We're seeing a couple volume spikes. Like on this one here. Yep, 100%. Chris, you're right. That's kind of why I thought, well, maybe it's time. We got this candle here, a nice little spike in volume. Try to get under this trend line, and then we just kind of got some low volume chop here. So one more of those through 165 with the volume spike is kind of what I'm waiting on here. And now we're getting a low volume bounce. We're only about 40 seconds into this minute. So volume isn't really that high yet, but definitely not what I wanted to see. Market's not even bouncing either. We're sitting right next to new lows on the day. Well, Tesla's done. I'll tell you that right now. If they don't reject it here, this thing's done for. NVIDIA close to a new low. Nice rejection there, but the market is kind of bouncing, so not the best timing. Well, if y'all have other tickers you want me to go look at, I will. This is kind of pointless until it actually starts moving. It's doing nothing but chop around. But a good example of nothing's guaranteed. As good as the setup looks, it actually has to happen. You can't just blindly start um, believing that it's actually going to work. I think the odds were very high, but Walgreens, what do you want to look at Walgreens for, mate, Nora? What's your idea on it? What do you want me to look at? At earnings 2 days ago. Holding small position. Okay, I think I like that. Um, to me, it's interesting that their Q4 results weren't very good, considering usually you see drugstores do good during Q4 just because it's winter. More people are sick, but I don't know. I don't mind that trade as long as I would probably have a stop loss at lows here at 1918 and see if you can get that bounce. I don't mind that. But thinking big picture here, yeah, typically I would think that drugstores do good when they report their Q4. Tesla trying to push here again. I just want to see if this actually breaks new highs or not. It's just so weird. This is trying to push for a new high in the day, and NQ is like dollars away from a new low. So I mean, we're just right on it. And I say dollars, but really it's points because it's an $1,800 ticker. Yeah, for sure, mate Nor. I don't mind that play at all. New low on NQ. Tesla's on a green candle. Reddit hanging out right at its IPO price at 47. If the market bounces at all, I think Tesla's going to be gone. So just look at this. For y'all that don't have futures up, I mean, we're just making new low after new low on both of them. So any sort of bounce here, well, what's holding up the best? Here we go, back under the trend line here. Like I said, Tesla can change in a matter of 2 minutes if it really wants to. But I also know when it's ready to have one of those days where it can fall 10%, it does it fairly quickly. You guys can keep asking questions if you want, or put in other tickers. Nothing too exciting right now. Reddit just made another new high. Jeez. Market trying to curl back up. You can see Tesla instantly trying to bounce. All it took was one green candle there in futures. Tesla's trying to go for highs. AMD is the second biggest mover today. I'll just send a screenshot of my small little watch list on the side here. Yeah, TK. I mean, it could, but I don't know. It may just take a little bit. You would think that Wall Street bets would be coming in here going nuts on it, but I mean, it had a quick squeeze early, and then it gave it all the way back up. Quick move back down here. I want to see under 165 still. We're almost an hour into the day though, so it's a little late. Market's starting to bounce pretty aggressively now. Let's see what Tesla does. It's actually moving pretty good. Here we go. It looks like one side's going to win here pretty soon. The market is ripping. Tesla's really not bouncing that hard yet. Still could, but if the market then rolls over, it looks like buyers aren't as strong as they were, a couple minutes ago. This is going to be our level here. Back above 166. When does Tesla turn red? About 165.20. Probably going to bail on this though. Just move on with the day. It's just not moving correctly. But when the trade does come, it'll be great, and it'll make up for any sort of loss as long as you manage risk the right way. It's just crazy. With that kind of news and anticipated news, we got to move on it. It was just pre-market, and then after the open, nothing happened. Amazon just ripped. Look at Tesla though, staying a bit weak. It's the first sign of weakness I've seen really all morning. Just trying to hold under 166. I gotta see under 165, but we're about to be an hour in. Let's see what other streams we got going today. Bitcoin J's group session is in 30 minutes. So at 11 Eastern, the technical analysis group. And then we got Swinging Bulls at 3 p.m. Eastern, spread trading, 4 p.m. Eastern, new member orientation. And then tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm doing a free lesson as well, as per usual. Right here at VWAP again. Looks like futures might be topping out here for the short term. Let's see if those will roll over with Tesla here and we can get a move. I'm not going to stay here for another 30 minutes unless this does really get going. But I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes because it's starting to get weak a little bit for me. Alexander VWAP. That yellow line. This is why I started using VWAP. I mean, look how price reacts to it. ES and NQ rolling over here. I want to see continued weakness here on Tesla. Now it's bouncing now of all things. Reddit up near 48 now. NVIDIA 880. Wow. That's done for a while. If we see another bounce above about 66.50 here, guys, I'm going to call it a day. No reason to sit here and watch this, but I'll set my alerts in case this does actually roll back over, and then I can look to trade it again, hop on mic or whatever. But this is pretty bad. Under 65.50 here around VWAP. Let's see if it starts getting aggressive now. Volume's key. That's all we're waiting for right now. Market's trying to roll over. There's just no movement here at all. Above 166, I'm going to get out of here. Under 165, I'll stick around and maybe look to trade this. So we got about 50 cents to each side to see what happens. But other than that, I don't really like anything else. So this is the only thing I want to focus on. If it happens, great. If not, we'll look at it tomorrow. Any last minute questions or anything like that? Under 165.50 here. All I'm looking for is volume through 165. That's it. Market had a spike down. $185 a contract. Well, I think that there's some earnings streams today, maybe. Maybe it's tomorrow. Oh, it is today. Reddit earnings. Oh, that'll be fun. I believe that is with Mr. SLP. Quick spike down there to 165. Instantly bought back up. Market looks like it's trying to bounce here again. Kind of a little small bull flag action on NQ. Very small. Again, this is a 2-minute chart, so nothing that significant, but kind of at a downtrend as well from the open today. So if we break that and start moving up here, then obviously Tesla isn't going to be weak enough to do this on its own. So, yeah, I'm just trying to stick to what I said here, but we're just moving on pennies. All right, well there goes Tesla back above VWAP. All right, guys, I'm just gonna wrap it up here. I do have my alert set. Jay does have a meeting for his coach's corner in about 23 minutes, so I hope you guys can make that. Other than that, I'll be around, but I'm just gonna hop off stream here. Pretty boring day. Very disappointed in what Tesla did, but maybe we'll get the move tomorrow. Maybe it happens later today. I don't know. So set your alerts, watch it. And I'll see you guys at my lesson tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Adios.